Hello and welcome to our latest Concertcast for the Northland Symphony. I am Andrea. I am in the orchestra and the violin section.
I'm Jim Murray, of course, the conductor.
Yes. And our next concert is Sunday, February 22nd at 3 p.m. at North Kansas City High School. Free admission as always, and free parking also as always. We want to start by giving a shout out to our concert sponsor, Southern Bank. This means that they underwrote the cost of putting on this performance. So
thank you very much.
Yep. Room rental, program printing,
all the
principal
things.
payments. Yep. So thank you very much for making these concerts possible. And on that note, this concert features some very cool couple of works.
It is. So I was thinking about this. So we have two pieces, Elgar and Beethoven, Elgar Cello Concerto, Beethoven Symphony No. 2. And, conductors do a lot when they program. I've talked a lot about this in previous recordings about the number of variables that go into picking pieces of music, and it changes by professional, community, and youth. And there's so many variables, but a lot of conductors kind of, sometimes we do themes that are pretty obvious, like Scandinavian music or Latin American music, and sometimes or dances or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. And I've certainly done a lot of that. And then there's the more subtle programming things where, maybe it's a musical connection or key area connection or whatever. For this concert, for Beethoven and Elgar, it's much more higher level. Yeah, because so it I think they just pair really nice together. I think Beethoven and Elgar have always paired nice together. So I was thinking about this. It's like a sommelier, right? So a sommelier suggests wine that really complements the meal, right?
Right.
So maybe it's a musical sommelier. Maybe that should be like the thing, because I can't tell you necessarily why I think Beethoven and Elgar always pair nicely together, but they have consistently through my career, so I do it a lot. But the headline for this concert is "Come Hear Susie Yang Play the Elgar Cello Concerto." Holy cow! We'll talk about the piece, but I'll talk about her associate principal at Kansas City Symphony. She's been in the area for a long time. She has appeared as soloist with us before. We love working with her. But the Elgar, not only is it kind of a mountaintop piece for cellists, she played the last movement as soloist at age 11 with the Chicago Symphony. So that's unreal.
Yeah.
That's unreal because it is just so hard. So I've been meeting with Susie, and what's great about it is, she's a phenomenal performer, artist. You have a chance to hear her for free, like you should not pass this up. But she has lived with this for a long time. This is a friend of hers. She comes back to this work as seeing an old friend, that she has known for her almost her entire life. And have that kind of a relationship with a piece of music is amazing. The work itself is also amazing. It's about 110 years difference between these two works, which is not really that big, like when you think about it. I'm always fascinated by those kind of connections. Elgar wrote it in 1919. It is really, many would say, his response to World War I. He was deeply affected by the war. He was too old to enlist, so he wrote music, but he also volunteered in like the Hampstead Volunteer Reserve, which was like civilian defense force, or they fixed roads and things like that. But England was bombed during World War I, and so physical scars, emotional scars. He certainly saw the wounded soldiers that returned. He certainly knew the soldiers who did not return. And so it impacted him greatly. So he left the city after the war and kind of went to a country retreat. He wrote a lot of chamber works here, and then he wrote the Cello Concerto, which is his last major work for orchestra, for big orchestra. And the reaction to World War I is a big statement for this piece. You've obviously experienced it as well. A lot of people, a lot of analysts will be like, it's just kind of sad, and they'll use the term like dour. And I'm like, I don't know, because like it is certainly dramatic. There are very powerful pieces, sections of this music. I tend to think like the peak is the slow movement, which is just serene and so amazingly beautiful. And, I don't come away with it as it being a sad work.
Yeah.
Part of it, I think, is the virtuosity of the soloist. There's an impressive element there, but I think it's a pretty multi-layered work, to be kind of, he's clearly got the World War I scars present in what he's writing. But it's very powerful. I don't know. I mean, you've played it. What do you think? What would you say from your perspective?
It's the first time I will have accompanied it, and I'm really looking forward to hearing her with the orchestra for the first time here in a couple days. I would not have said, I think, sad right off the bat either.
Right.
Yeah, powerful maybe.
Yeah.
Intense.
Yeah.
To be sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it for people who only know Elgar of like Enigma Variations or Pomp and Circumstance, right? There's so much more to him, and this is a great second or third meeting for him. It's a pretty profound work of significant seriousness and nature, but also just amazing and beautiful. The themes come back, and it's moving. It's a moving work.
Definitely. So it's going to be great.
So that's the headline. Beethoven's great. We'll get to him in a minute. But the headline is really Come Here, Susie Yang.
Yes.
You just don't want to miss this.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, before we get to Beethoven, we have a few other sponsors to shout out, some regular contributors. So Lydia Levin Community School of Music at William Jewell, the Northland Cathedral School of Music, and Nastiff and Quinn Attorneys and Advisors are all program sponsors for this performance. So thank you all very much. Again, super important to our mission.
And if you are interested in being one of those, you can always just reach out to us through our website, and we will happily give you some options and help you, because that support is crucial for us going forward.
Definitely. Okay, you mentioned it, Beethoven Symphony number 2.
I love all the Beethoven symphonies, and I love them all for different reasons. And I think that number 2 sometimes gets overlooked because number 3 is kind of pretty big deal musically and significantly, and 1 is great. So when we talk about Beethoven Symphony number 2, we need to talk about 1802 in Beethoven's life. And also, so there's a couple things. He wrote it in 1802, and we know that, I mean, we don't know when he started losing his hearing, but we know he was dealing with it at this point, because in October of 1802, he wrote I'm going to probably mispronounce this because my German's not right, the Heiligenstadt Testament, which is a letter that he wrote to his brothers, very famous letter. And he is really wrestling with the hearing loss issue to the point of, contemplating drastic actions and how this is going to go forward and what life looks like. And it's a very serious and emotionally devastating document about where he is in his life. Leading into that, though, which is where Beethoven number 2 comes in, he finishes it right before that. He really finishes it in like the summer, early fall of 1802. However, on the other side of that, things are going pretty well for Beethoven at this time. Financially, he's pretty stable. He's got a lot of commissions. He's writing a lot of music, and his physical health is improving. So that was another part I think he was working on. He's like, I want to be in better health because I want to do all my artistic goals and all this stuff, which you can understand why the hearing thing would then be a thing. So it's actually a really happy symphony. I mean, that's the thing about it. There's nothing, I mean, even like the slow movement, right? Like is every movement seems to have an element of joy to it, which is interesting because we often have contrast as we go through, and we certainly have different images of that, or different representations of that. It also would fall in the end of it. Some would say it's his last work in his early period. So we think about Beethoven's life in 3 periods. His first period is like classical. I'm adhering to the rules. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm mastering the prevailing style. In the second period, I'm starting to push the forms. I'm starting to do a little thing. And then the third period is like, which really anticipating the Romantic period, because he is our transitioning composer between the 2 periods. So but I would say like, when we think about like when he starts changing things or looking for like, accented notes and passages, well, we've got plenty of those. The second move or third movement is not a scherzo or not a minuet and trio like it should be. It's a scherzo and trio. So there's like another look forward, but it's got all the power and drama that with Beethoven, but it just sits on more positive, happier side of things.
I was just listening to a recording last night, and it's a Simon Rattle recording. And so back when we had tangible recordings, it was broken up into discs.
Oh, yes.
And they grouped 2 with 5 actually on one disc. It was 1 and 3 and 2 and 5, which I thought was interesting.
Might have been just by the duration of the disc.
Okay, possibly. But I actually thought it made sense to me musically a little, because there is drama in this piece too.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And it's about 30 minutes. So we've got 2 distinctly different musical journeys on this concert. They're both about 30 minutes long. Both 4 movements.
Yeah.
But different scenery. Maybe that's the way to say that. On our
musical smorgasbord.
That's right. But it's trust us to get you back home.
Right. Or wine tasting, I guess.
That's right.
The metaphor from earlier.
Yeah.
Well, as a member of the first violin section, it is certainly a piece with many notes, all of them beautiful.
Isn't that how it was the case of Beethoven? And many ledger lines.
Yes. I think the thing that stuck out to me is in the first movement, I think there's like some rhythmic tension as well between different sections. So that feels
a great rhythmic
experimental a little bit.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's going to be great. Again, that concert is Sunday, February 22nd at 3 p.m. North Kansas City High School, free. Other events to look forward to, if you want to check out the calendar on our website, is our pickleball fundraiser. I believe this is the third
year. Absolutely.
And it's been a
very popular. Absolutely. Lots of fun. So if you play it all, even if you don't know how to play the first rounds, they will teach you, they will guide you through it. You're probably not going to win, but you'll have a nice time.
You might even get to see Jim in the later brackets.
And you're also guaranteed like a certain number of games.
Yep.
So
there's usually
if you're brand new, like if you want to try pickleball, come and try pickleball while supporting a great organization.
And that is, of course, at Chicken and Pickle, and more details and tickets are on our website as well.
Absolutely.
We will see you at hopefully one or both of those events. Thanks, Jim.
Yep.